Welcome everybody to another MonicaVerse What If series. And I thought this one over. I was watching Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and I saw the Hobbit. Then I saw the whole trilogy of Lord of the Rings, and I thought, in the Return of the King, where Shelob stings Frodo, what if that would have been fatal? What if Frodo died? Would it change everything? Well, this alternate timeline turns Samwise Gamgee from Frodo's loyal companion into the sole hero of Middle-earth. Here is my what if. The Lord of the Rings, Samwise Gamgee, the last ringbearer. The tomb of a friend. Darkness filled the pass of Silverfungal. The foul smell of Shivot's lair lingered in the air. Samwise Gamgee knelt beside Frodo. The sting had gone deep, far deeper than before. Sam had waited hours, perhaps longer. He had prayed, he had begged, he had spoken Frodo's name until his throat was raw. Nothing happened. Frodo Baggins did not awaken. At last, Sam accepted the truth. His master had died. The realization struck him harder than any blow. For a long time, he simply sat beside the still body. The world felt empty. No songs, no hope, no future, just silence. The tears streamed down his face. The little gardener gathered stones one by one, slowly, carefully, building a simple grave, not a grand monument, no king's tomb, just enough to protect his friend from scavengers and the horrors of Mordor. Sam removed Frodo's mithril coat. He took Sting. He took the ring. He then laid Frodo gently in the grave. The hobbit from the Shire who had carried the greatest burden in Middle-earth rested beneath the cold stones. Sam placed his hand on the mound. For several moments he could not speak. Finally, he whispered, "You saved us all, Mr. Frodo. Now I'll finish it." When Sam rose, something had changed. Not courage, not confidence, determination. This simple, stubborn determination that has always made Samwise Gamgee dangerous when those he loved was threatened. Frodo was gone, but the mission remained. The ring had to be destroyed, no matter the cost. No matter if he never saw home again. He turned towards Mordor, alone, and walked. The precious. The ring felt heavier now, far heavier, not physically, spiritually, as thought it understood, as thought it knew there was only one bearer left. The golden van whispered constantly. At first Sam ignored it, then it became harder. The ring showed him visions, green fields, fresh gardens, apple orchards, endless rows of flowers. The Shire more beautiful than it ever had been. Children laughing, Rosie smiling. Everything safe, everything protected. Because of him. A voice drifted through his thoughts, soft, tempting, reasonable. You could save them. You can make the whole world bloom. No more war. No more hunger. Sam clutched his fist. You're lying. The ring did not answer. It simply showed him more beautiful visions. Column's End. For days, Sam traveled through Mordor, hungry, exhausted, hunted. Then one night he heard a familiar sound. A scraping noise, a whisper. A pair of pale eyes staring from the darkness. Gollum. The creature had followed him, waiting, watching, planning. Where is the master? Sam's expression darkened. Gone. For a moment, Gollum almost seemed sad. Then his eyes shifted toward the ring. Greed returned instantly. Give us the precious. No. The attack came without warning. Gollum launched himself at Sam's throat. The two tumbled down a rocky slope. Sting flashed, teeth snapped, hands clawed. This time, there was no Frodo to stop the violence. No voice calling for mercy. No second chance. The struggle ended when Sting pierced Gollum's chest. The creature froze, his eyes widened. Precious. Then he felt still. Sam stood over the body, breathing hard, shaking. He felt no victory, only sadness. Because Frodo would have pitied him, and Sam knew it. The last journey. Far away, the armies of the West marched toward the Black Gate. Aragorn knew the odds. They could not win. That was never the point. The battle existed to buy time. For Frodo. But Gandalf felt something strange, a shift in the world, a sadness, a loss. The wizard looked east towards Mordor. Something has happened. Yet, even he could not see clearly, not through Sauron's shadow, not through the ring. And so, the armies marched, unaware that the fate of Middle-earth now rested entirely on one small gardener. Mount Doom. At last Sam reached Mount Doom. The end of the road, the end of everything. His clothes were torn, his feet bled. His food was gone. His strength nearly spent. Yet somehow he climbed, one step, then another, until he stood above the fires of creation. The ring suddenly felt alive, hungry, desperate. The whispers became screams. Claim me. You've earned this. You carried the burden. You deserve power. For one terrible moment, Sam hesitated. The ring showed him a vision. Samwise, the strong, lord of all gardens, the king of Middle-earth. Forests stretching across the world, mountains covered in flowers. Every living thing obeying his will. The temptation was overwhelming. Then another memory appeared, not created by the ring. His own. Frodo smiling beneath the party tree, Rosie laughing, the smell of fresh bread, a quiet evening in Hobbiton. The life he truly wanted. Sam suddenly laughed, a tired, broken, wonderful laugh. That's the difference. The ring trembled. Sam said again, I don't want a kingdom. He looked into the fire. I just want home. with all his strength, Samwise Gamgee threw the ring into the flames. The ring vanished. The fire erupted. The mountain shook. And the Dark Lord screamed. It was over. The orcs, the goblins, the Nazgul, they all fell. The free people of Middle-earth celebrated. But it was at a bad cost. Because upon Gandalf learning of Frodo's death, after rescuing Sam with the eagles, all wept and did tribute to Frodo. Sam returning to the Shire as the sole ring-bearer and the greatest hero of the Fourth Age. Thus Sam himself would spend the rest of his life insisting that it was still Frodo Baggins. Much of Middle-earth didn't change. Gandalf went to the west with the elves. Aragorn ruled from Gondor. And this time, Rosie Cotton was waiting for him. The green dragon, the simple things. Frodo would have been happy. Every year, Sam went up to that same spot and paid tribute to Frodo. The grass had now grown in Sirifungor. The creatures were all gone. All because one simple gardener took an oath for his friend. Sam never wanted greatness. He never wanted to rule. He wanted a simple life. He wanted home. He wanted to follow his friends. And now, after the defeat of Sauron, the fall of Sirifungor and Mordor, Sam now rested at home. Sam began to cry, so did Gandalf. But it's not weeps of sadness, it is weeps of joy. Kings bowed to Sam, elves honored him, songs were written, but Sam hated every minute of it. I only did what it had to be done. And that was it. Well, everybody, when I wrote this, after watching the films, I thought about this and it really made me sad, made me cry a little. Because I loved how the camaraderie of the two. And you sit back and if this would have happened, what will happen afterwards? That's tough to say. But as what we know is that Sam did something that nobody would have thought. He was strong. In the original movies, he carried Frodo on his shoulders. He wanted to make sure that Frodo got there. And it wasn't Gandalf, it wasn't Galadriel. It was a simple gardener. So guys, let's take a step back and look at how all of this would have changed. How this simple moment would have changed the Lord of the Rings. I don't think it would have changed much. I think Frodo would be gone. Yes, but I think everybody else, and there would have been sadness, that Merry and Pippin would have been sad. But if you read the books afterwards, Sam, Merry, and Pippin return to the Shire. If you read the books, and Sauron had taken over with some bad men and tried to take over the Shire, and Merry, Pippin, and Sam rallied the hobbits, and they took, won the Hobbiton back in the Shire. But I think in this timeline, it would still be the same. And I think Aragon would have simply sent, no, not an army, but a force, a small group, probably Dunedain, maybe a couple of Gondor armies, maybe one army, one squad, maybe. But they would have helped the hobbits. And that would have been it. I think, honestly, this is a big change from the series. So, guys, thanks for watching. Tell me what you think about this story. Like, subscribe, and follow on my channel. And again, tell me what you think. I value your opinion. And tell me what if you would like for me to tackle. Bye-bye.